She planned everything. Every detail. Every move. Every reaction you had while watching her. She planned that too. Her name is Amy Dunne, and she is the most intelligent villain in modern cinema. Not because of what she does, but because of how completely she controls the story around her. Gone Girl came out in 2014. David Fincher directed it. Rosamund Pike played Amy. And the film did something almost no thriller manages to do. It made you root for the villain without ever telling you that is what you were doing. Amy Dunne has spent her entire life performing. Her parents wrote a children's book series based on her called Amazing Amy. A fictional version of herself that was always smarter, always better, always more accomplished than the real Amy could ever be. She grew up being compared to a version of herself that did not exist, and she decided that if the world wanted a performance, she would give them one they would never forget. Amy does not snap. She does not lose control. She does not act out of rage or impulse. She thinks. When her husband Nick starts an affair and stops pretending to love her, Amy does not confront him. She does not leave. She builds a case methodically, patiently, over months. She plants evidence, manipulates her diary entries to paint herself as a victim, stages her own disappearance, frames her husband for her murder, and then watches from a distance as the entire country decides he did it. The Cool Girl monologue is one of the greatest villain speeches ever written. She describes the performance women are expected to give, the laughing at jokes that are not funny, the pretending to be whatever the man in their life needs them to be. Amy performed that role for years, and when she stopped, when she decided to be exactly who she actually was, the result was terrifying. Rosamund Pike was nominated for an Academy Award for this role, and she deserved to win. What she does in Gone Girl is almost impossible to describe. She plays a woman playing a role playing another woman, layer after layer of performance, and you never once catch the seams. The Amy you see at the beginning is not the real Amy. The Amy you see in the diary entries is not the real Amy. Even the Amy you think you understand by the end of the film may not be the real Amy. That ambiguity is what makes Gone Girl one of the most rewatchable thrillers ever made. Every time you go back, you see something new. Another calculation, another manipulation, another moment where Amy was 3 steps ahead of everyone in the room, including the audience. David Fincher said Amy Dunne is not a feminist villain or an anti-feminist villain. She is just a villain, who happens to be a woman, who is very, very good at what she does. Here is why Amy Dunne is more relevant now than when the film came out. We live in a world obsessed with narrative, with how stories get told, with who controls the version of events that the public believes. Amy Dunne understood that before most people had words for it. She did not need to be stronger than Nick. She did not need to be louder. She just needed to control what they saw, what they read, what they felt. And in a world of social media and viral moments and public opinion shifting overnight based on a single post, that is not a superpower. That is a skill set. Amy Dunne is terrifying not because she is exceptional, but because the tools she used are available to anyone. She just had the patience and the intelligence to use them better than anyone else. Subscribe to Villain Lore, new villain every week, because every story has 2 sides, and the villain's side is always more interesting.